Welcome to Ramsey's Family Kitchen. Okay, this meatloaf experiment was on one hand a gigantic success and on the other hand a bit of a failure. You'll see what I'm talking about towards the end of the video here, but as far as flavor goes, this was just off the charts awesome, so I still have to share it with you. Now, to start off with, for this meatloaf, I'm going to take an onion, I'm going to take a garlic, I'm going to cut off the ends of both sides of the onion and the top side of the clove of garlic. Then, on a sheet pan, go ahead, put your onion, put your garlic, put a whole bunch of cherry and or grape tomatoes. Also, for flavor here, I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of butter. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Go ahead, put your cookie sheet in there, your roasting pan, for 30 minutes. Take it out and enjoy that aroma. Oh, it's going to be so good. Now, I love roasting garlic this way. It just comes right out, and when you mix it, it's perfect. Now, the onion. My family isn't big on onions, so I'm just going to get the onion juices out of here. Now, for yourself, if you do like onion, go ahead and take out some of those softened pieces of onion. Go ahead and get them in there. I am just going for the onion juice myself. Now, I realized I really shouldn't be putting this in a pan. I think I'm going to transfer it to a bowl. Before I do, though, let's go ahead and put all those cherry tomatoes in there, along with that butter and all of that delicious roasting juice. Oh yeah, every single little drop. Don't want to waste that. That is precious gold. It is yummy. Now go ahead, put it in your bowl here. Okay, now I'm going to take a little hand beater. Hand mixer? Stand mixer? Anyway, yes, one of those little whippy things, and I'm going to whip it. Whip it real good. There we go. Really thick, like pasta sauce. Essentially very thick tomato sauce. You could add some tomato paste here, which I should have done. And there you go, Flavor Town, USA. Now, instead of crackers or oatmeal or breadcrumbs, I am going to be using some bread that I lightly toasted and then let dry. Okay, waste not, want not. So that's exactly what I did. Now, cut this up into cubes. Little bitty pieces. You don't want anything way too big. Okay, it's got to be able to mix with the meat and marry with the tomatoes. So, not very big pieces, pretty small, right? About a cup or so worth. Okay, this is also where I realized I probably should have put in a tiny bit more bread and more than 1 egg. Now, for the pound of beef, I'm going to use an 80-20 mix, 20% fat. Because fat is flavor. Fat tastes good. If you are on a low-fat diet, go ahead and use like a 95, 95.5 or something. Now, like I said earlier, I should have used more than 1 egg here, maybe 2. Okay. Anyway, go ahead and mix it. Mix it really, really good. Don't be afraid. This is not bread. You're not going to get too much gluten here. Don't want to overwork it too much, but don't be afraid to get it really good and mixed. Okay, put this in your meatloaf loaf container, your bread loaf. Now, usually for my regular meatloaf recipe is ketchup on top. I've used a bunch of stuff with barbecue and everything else, but something that adds a little bit extra flavor here that we're going to do is I am going to take a bowl here and I'm going to put in ketchup. My wife's favorite is Heinz, so we're going to use Heinz ketchup here. There we go. Now, this is not exact measurements because you're just going to put it on top. It's not actually going in the dish here. So just get about a half and half measurement on your grape jelly and your ketchup, which of course creates its own kind of barbecue sauce. Really good for meatballs and little bitty weenies, you know. You gotta mix it up at a cocktail party for barbecues and stuff. Be a lot of 70s, right? And all those weird recipes that came out of there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the meatloaf here in place of the ketchup that I would normally put on top of it. There we go. Get it nice and smeared all over the top. And this is going to give it a kind of a sweet tangy flavor, like its own variation of barbecue sauce. It is very good. I like this way. Now, 350 degrees in the oven that's still preheated from earlier. I'll cook it for about 45 minutes to an hour until your thermometer comes out reading 165. There we go. Now, you could serve it just like this after it sets for a while, but I am impatient and I want to take it out so I can present it and put it on the oven. And this is where the recipe fell apart. As far as flavor goes, this is probably one of the best tasting meatloafs that I've had, but as far as well, here, let me flip it over and I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, and 3. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, look at all those juices. Okay, towel, paper towel, towel, paper towel. Okay, towel, clean hand kitchen towel. There we go. Okay, now here is where it all falls apart. The consistency. This had a little bit too much juice. I should have used a little bit more bread, a little bit more egg, so it was a thicker, more, oh God, I can't even think of the word for it, but it would have held together a whole lot better than it did right now. Okay, but I'm going to take this parchment paper that I had out from under there on the plate. It isn't very bad, but as you can see, it doesn't really hold together as a loaf like I wanted it to. Add a whole bunch of cheese for decoration and for plating just to make it look good. Now, while it didn't hold together as well as I would have liked, like I said, the flavor of this was just out of this world. I really, really enjoyed it. And we are going to have to play around with more meatloaf recipes in the future like this, because I'm telling you, this is delicious. Look, there you go. All that tomato and onion and garlic. You can't beat it. Okay, time to eat. Have fun.